Steven Seagal said that kind of behavior is an embarrassment to the human race. It's an embarrassment to the martial arts.
Well, I don't know anything about martial arts, but Steven Seagal would know a damn lot about behavior that's embarrassing to the human race.
The American gangster, the bad guy, the gangster from the mean streets of West Lynn, who is undefeated and undisputed. Those are just a few of the ways UFC fans have described this trash-talking icon. Chael Sonnen has done an incredible job at creating a character that fans either love or love to hate. No matter which side you were on, you always tuned into his fights. Some may say his mouth got him all his big fight opportunities in his career.
His mouth has gotten him every fight, big fight that he's had. And every time when it's time to present and perform, he's failed.
But when it comes to Chael, it's best to keep those thoughts to yourself and not speak them out loud.
Tito always says I'm using my mouth to get my opportunities. The only person I know that made money using their mouth is his ex-wife.
Welcome back to Brand Make a Part 2. Hope you enjoy.
What did you see when you watched that fight?
Look, Floyd needs to keep doing what he's doing, which is fighting complete tomato cans who we've never heard of before. I've never seen anybody in the history of America get so rich and so famous out of having complete wimps throwing punch at their faces. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, well, it's happened before. What about Rihanna? Shame on you, classless. I will not stand for that. I will not stand for that. But, however, boxing has a misconception. Too soon? Was it too soon?
Too soon.
Even for a little bit too soon. Listen, I do want to make this point, though.
And I'm not your dork. How's he a dork?
LeBron's a nerd. There's only a couple of guys.
He just wears nerd
that I
spoken.
You know, where it's annoying. You got this guy, LeBron's a wimp. You got this nerd named Ray Lewis. It's like if I saw these guys, I'd smack them both.
Brandon, that's your guy now.
On principle.
Did you just say you'd smack Ray Lewis?
Listen, guys, if you're not willing to go too far, you will never go far enough in life, and I don't care. I don't promote fights. I pick fights. I'm like Jon Jones. I sound like Sean Combs, and I got trombone-sized stones like John Holmes.
And by the way, Anderson, if I want your opinion, I will beat it out of you. Don't walk around handing out free advice. Why don't you go find a Sharpie marker and draw Steven Seagal's widow peak on him? His hairline's about as authentic as his fighting abilities. So you go sing to your hamburgers and dance on stage with Justin Bieber, and I'll handle the heavy work like I've done in this company for the last 5 years in your absence.
I was in Las Vegas when the Nogueira brothers first touched down in America. There was a bus this is a true story. There was a bus that pulled up to a red light, and Little Nog tried to feed it a carrot while Big Nog was petting it. He thought it was a horse. This really happened. Do you believe me that happened?
Not really.
He tried to feed a bus a carrot, and now you're telling me that country has computers? I didn't know that. I did not know that.
As far as the first fight, this is the truth. That was a misunderstanding of the rules. And the way I thought it worked was that if you tapped, you lost that round. So I thought what they would do is they go to a judge's decision, they go 4 rounds to 1, and we go home and I'd be the new champion. And if anyone had explained to me that stops the bout in its entirety, I would not have tapped.
So really it's been more about just educating yourself on the rules this time around.
It was a complete misunderstanding.
And when you talk to me and you talk down to me, don't talk down to me and don't talk to me like you're my equal, because you're not. I stomped you before and I will stomp you again. You are a nuisance to me and to everybody else. You ducked me for 6 years. You ducked me for 2 years after that. There's nothing I can do more than pick a fight. You put every stipulation on this thing that you could think of, and I answered them all, including coming to Brazil. Like that's some kind of a big deal. What's the difference? It's a plane ride somewhere. I'm not fighting you in Brazil. I'm not fighting you in Chicago. I'm not fighting you in Florida. I'm fighting you in the octagon. And when you get in there and I get in there, I'm going to stomp you this time the same as I did last time. You can complain about your rib. I'm sure your rib did hurt. Your rib is inside of a coward. That's the problem your rib's got. It's got the same problem your hand and feet have. They're attached to you, dummy.
He's got a black belt under the Nogueira brothers. I think a black belt under the Nogueira brothers is saying I got a free toy in my Happy Meal. I don't really understand what the big deal is. One of them's a punching bag, and the other one I just ignore. He's really irrelevant. But I mean, do you understand, Errol? You and everybody else waited in the weather. You came to the press conference. Wanderlei It looks like he found a bathroom as a backdrop in the men's shelter he's living at in Rio and got somebody to point his cell phone at his face.
Tito is literally in the only profession I know of where you don't need to wear a suit, and he keeps showing up in one. It's like a local funeral parlor clothes, and he went and took it off a corpse.
It's something you need to learn.
Shows up looking like a maitre d' at Golden Corral.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against the Brazilian people. I got something against a Brazilian that's sitting a few feet from me. And maybe over the couple other gentlemen, but your women are all okay with me, so feel free to give me a call or pay me a visit. But, you know, as far as my impression, it's a lot like America. You know, when I was a little kid, I remember going outside, I sit around with my friends, we talk about the latest technology and medicine and gaming and American ingenuity, and I look outside and Anderson and the Brazilian kids are sitting outside playing in the mud.
Excuse me. Could you imagine the excitement that Fedor must have right now? Could you imagine how bad he wants to reach out and touch the largest arm in Westland, Oregon that is sitting right next to him? Instead, people keep going to Wanderlei Silva. You want to hear Wanderlei Silva? You want to know how you could get as much tantalizing conversation from something as Wanderlei Silva? Just talk to my shoe. Just ask the shoe. What's it going to be like, shoe? What's it going to be like to walk into Madison Square Garden in front of a sold-out arena with the biggest box office in history because Bellator called the king? And you know what Wanderlei's going to say? Oh, garble, garble, garble. It's garble, 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 Mr. Sonnen!
Man, Sonnen, I kill him fast.
Quote was, he will kill you and he will kill you fast. I'm wondering if you saw that interview and what do you think of him saying that?
Wanderlei, you are an immigrant from Brazil. I am a gangster from America. Are you sure you want to play that game with me? Listen, Wanderlei, I will do a home invasion on you. I will cut the power to your house, and the next thing you hear will be me climbing up your stairs in a pair of night vision goggles I bought in the back of Soldier of Fortune magazine. I'll pick the lock to the master room door, take a picture of you in bed with the Nogueira brothers working on your jiu-jitsu. I'll take said photograph, post it at www.dorksfrombrazil.com. Password, not required. Username, not required. That, Wanderlei, is how you threaten somebody, dummy.
It's your debut. What does it feel like being here?
Don't be one of those scumbags that edits that out. I said your question was stupid. Put that in there.
I'm not the editor.
My wife's filming it back here, and she'll put it out if you don't.
I don't edit.
I'm letting you know now for whatever chicken is it. Give me the fucking microphone. You know what? I'm done.
You tell Anderson Silva I'm coming over, I'm kicking his back door, and I'm patting his old lady on the ass, and I'm telling her to make me a steak, medium rare, just how I like it.
Oh my God.
Brazil, we have the thing que you have respect, you feel you know, lost your teeth. No? Brazil, we say that.
What was your reaction when you heard the Silva quotes that he was going to break all of your teeth and that you weren't going to be able to walk from the octagon?
Well, that's like the big threat in Brazil. You know, we're going to send you to the dentist. He's not the first Brazilian to tell me that. The only resentment and confusion I have is the implication like they've got dentists on every other block in Brazil. You know, there's something wrong with your tooth in Brazil. Some guy, some witch doctor waves a fish bone in front of your face and hopes your mouth feels better.
Next up, Fact or Fiction, Travis Brown will fight for the title in 2012.
Could you imagine? Are we live?
We are live.
No, what title? UFC title?
Yes.
No, sell.
I was listening to Kristen Walken, little skit he did, and he talked about the lion, king of the jungle, this huge lion with a big giant mane, in this hot, smothering weather in Africa. And the little small lions come up, kind of poke at him, bite on his ear, bite on his neck. The lioness comes over and bugs him. Then you got the jackals and the rest of the wilderness looking and seeing this lion's on that mountaintop. They come over and bother him. The jackals laugh at him. The hyenas laugh at him, nip at his toes. They eat all of his food, and they sit back. And they got jackals like this who think it's a comedy. Until one day he gets sick of it, and he attacks, and he shows to these people who the fucking king of the jungle is. And this little hyena, I'm gonna eat right through him.
You hear a funny story? You want to know how I got into the country? Huh? Right there. I went and got this to sneak into this country. I thought I could go undetected, and it backfired. Everybody approached me. Thought I was Nogueira.
Tonight, Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck.
Great admiration for what Tito's achieved in mixed martial arts.
Careful, everyone. This may be a lie, so just let him go and speak.
Tell another Jackal story about Christopher Walken and a mane and a lion and you and Vitor from back in the day.
Fucking joker. You're a joker. Dude.
Hey, classy.
You're a joker, dude. You're a joker.
Gareth, please go ahead.
I mean, that's such an awful show. The 6 people that tuned in to see it because Mark Cuban chooses to fund a losing project so that he has a tax write-off is fine with me. You must be one of those 6. If he said something loud enough that people heard, I'd respond to him. But because I know nobody watches that show, including me, and I'm a huge MMA fan, I'm not going to waste my time.
All right, let's.
If Kenny Rice could tell the truth one time, if Kenny Rice could pretend to be a journalist, pretend to get a fact right, he has 30 minutes. He has to talk 8 minutes. Boss Rutan does 8 minutes, and then the fighters and commercials take up the balance. He has never done a show where he gets his facts right. He doesn't care. He goes on, he disparages people, he lies about people, he never checks his facts, he does anything to put out a soundbite, and how he gets hired is beyond me. If I stuck around to watch the credits for that awful product, I would suspect the producer's last name is also Rice. My guess is his father produces the show, and that's how he got the gig. He sucks at it.
So you're more mad at them.
You're a liar, Kenny Rice. You're a liar about me and a lot of people. You are a liar.